In our news bulletin for this evening, Premier Takitalangi addresses concerns over his health. Specialist emergency training in awareness, safety, support and management for Niue emergency and rescue services. Niue joins in the Pacific Energy Summit with further commitment from development partners towards renewable energy projects. Fisher folk took up the challenge to collect 10 fish for the ocean's bounty at the Mutalo Marine Day in Uluwini. There have been concerns raised regarding Premier Takitalangi's health after he was medevaced in April for further medical attention in New Zealand. His ailing health has been a matter of discussion in the Legislative Assembly, but Premier Talangi says he is still confident to continue leading the country. We spoke to Premier Takitalangi about the state of his health.
I'm fine. It's a problem common to everybody. Sugar diabetes, now I'm back where I am, generally. So, thank goodness I think the drugs that I took, unfortunately, didn't agree with me, so had to go to New Zealand. They treated me. 5 days later I was out. 6 days, 7 days later I was driving around in a car in Auckland. So it isn't thing. It's just, I suppose, one of those things.
That interview was done last week before he departed the island for a meeting in New Zealand, and Premier Takitalangi has returned today. Specialist emergency training in awareness, safety and support and management will be held on the island for the next 2 weeks. Rowan Gauss and Menandi von Ludwig of KN Training and Development are in Niue at the moment to train our local police, fire service and ambulance services about using rescue gear in emergency situations. Both work in the New Zealand Fire and Ambulance Services, but also have their own company specialising in training of rescue personnel throughout New Zealand. Rowan Gauss was here last year to conduct similar specialist training with the Fire Rescue Force and saw an opportunity to offer KN training and development free of charge for 2 weeks of all facets of rescue training for Niue's emergency services.
The whole idea for us is to train the multi-agency style. So we're not only training police or fire, but getting everybody to work together. We've realised that with Niue being such a small country, if anything of significance happens here, the boys and girls have to work together to get the job done. Hence the reason for us looking at these guys, police and fire, working together, training with the same equipment, doing the same techniques, so when it matters they can all work together as one team. This is our first trip outside of New Zealand. Within New Zealand we're a national company. We work from Auckland to Dunedin, North and South Island, but we've always sort of wanted to go and help out within the Pacific. So this has been a phenomenal opportunity for us, and I guess because we have the relationships that we've built with the emergency services here of Niue, it seemed a natural thing for us to do to offer our services to this lovely country. Well, one of the local schools have asked us to come and do some first aid training, and we said absolutely, we've got a bit of time in a couple of days and we'll come and do that. So we've put out the offer to anybody in Niue that needs any extra training within I guess the realms of what we do to go and assist them as well. So as soon as we're done here today, we're off to the school to do some first aid training for the teachers as well. At the end of the 2 weeks, we'll sit down and discuss with both Chief Tony and Wes in regards to where they see they want to move forward from here. We already have committed to the training, and we'll definitely be offering our services again for next year.
This is their first venture into the Pacific region, and both are hoping to build a profile where their services can expand into other Pacific islands in the future. Chief of Police Tony Edwards said the expertise learnt will be valuable and Niue is much better off. He is hoping the combined training for the local rescue services will benefit Niue in the long run.
This particular training is emergency management, and if you're aware, we spoke about the roadmap strategic plan for emergency management, and it has come to fruition now of the emergency management services That's including fire and the health department, from ambulance drivers to Niue Police. The funding is from New Zealand Aid through technical assistant funding through Niue Government, but it is funded by New Zealand Aid, while funding's given to Niue to actually go to do this type of training for staff. It's basically to get the agencies to working together and knowing how small personnel that fire has and also police. So we're wanting to merge that by a good response team and during any emergency call-outs. And you can also look at the impact of tourism that we do get here on Niue now. And a lot of these tourists like to go out to our chasms and explore and expose themselves to a lot of danger out there, or hazards you could say. And we want to be in a position that we could actually rescue them if anything does happen to them when they're going down through our chasms. There's additional equipment. The New Zealand Fire Service, who the trainers came last year, these same guys, managed to scrape some materials or equipment that New Zealand Fire use, and they donated that to the rescue fire, Niue Rescue Fire. Us as police, we're able to get equipment through Australian Federal Police, and the simple thing is that we needed our equipment to equip us.
The training's good. With a lot of practice, I'm sure most of us will feel comfortable in using the equipment and actually knowing what the equipments are. Us ladies may need a lot of strength, but with the equipments, it reduces that amount of energy. Yeah, so we save a lot of energy, and with the equipments that we have on hand.
So how has it been so far?
Well, today's the first day, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll come ask you again in 2 weeks' time.
So by the end of 2 weeks, you'll be able to pull someone off the cliff using these.
We'll be. Yeah, hopefully we'll suss out, we'll get comfortable and have confidence in ourselves to actually rescue someone from the cliffside. So I'm sure in the next 2 weeks we'll be going out into the real world and putting it into a scenario.
KN Training and Development delivers specialist training in emergency awareness, safety, support and management to suit specific client needs in line with the New Zealand Qualification Authority unit standards. The rescue gear are designed for all genders regardless of their strength and ability to haul heavy people or equipment during any rescue. Premier Tokitalangi and officials were in Auckland to discuss energy-related matters in a one-day summit organised by New Zealand and the European Union. The Pacific Energy Conference objective was to build momentum for sustainable energy through country, donor and private sector investment to increase renewable energy alternatives and reduce carbon emissions. This builds on hundreds of millions of dollars committed in the first summit that was held 3 years ago. This occasion has resulted in more than 70 projects across the Pacific valued at $620 million. The summit was designed to enable Pacific countries like Niue to work with development partners to take a substantive step towards their goals of implementing energy efficiency and renewable energy initiatives with a special focus on generation and distribution of electricity. It was an opportunity for Niue to express its issues and challenges, as well as seek support and funding opportunities to reach each stage of energy developments on the island. The attendance by Honourable Premier Tokitalangi and officials at the summit included dialogues with New Zealand regarding New Zealand's interest in providing support to address grid stability and grid-scale storage to meet Niue's energy objectives. In an era of increasing concern about the effects of climate change, renewable energy and energy efficiency have become key issues for the Pacific Island countries. Donors have committed more than $690 million to more sustainable energy projects in the Pacific region. Uluwehi Sea Track was buzzing with excitement as fishermen and women gathered to head out to sea to catch the big one as part of Mutalo's Marine Day yesterday. Each year, the Mutalo community hosts this event that coincides with Queen's birthday holiday, and this year was no different as people set up food stalls for those who managed to drop in throughout the day. Food was plentiful, and there were different umu plates, desserts, hot chips and drinks was not on short supply, providing tourists with different island flavours. The sea was quite rough in the morning, but that didn't stop the very keen fishermen from heading out in their canoes. And even though the reef was just as rough, those who registered for the reef fishing were not discouraged. Weighing in of fish started at midday, and once that was completed, the prize giving was held. The champion fisherman with the overall weight of fish caught on the day went to Mtaele Salikiki, second Api Mutafo, and third Matthew Jessup. The heaviest single fish prize went to Api Mutafo with a trevally weighing in at 2.7 kilos, and second place went to Mataele Salikiki, third place Api Mutafo. For the heaviest malo caught on the day, Mataele Salikiki in first, second to Api Mutafo, and third went to Tōlana Siatanga, who also received a special prize for the most malo caught. For the reef fishing, third place went to Tamuta Utalo, Pelma Tongiakona in second, and Paulino Tukimua took first place. The Marine Day ended with an open fire barbecue for all who participated in the village community. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. Do join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.